Welcome to another Joe Cooks. This week I thought we'd have a go at making a quiche. Perfect for soaking up all them odds and sods you got left about in the fridge and freezer. It's a bit involved, so I'll go through the ingredients as we're going along. They'll be listed in the description as normal. Right, we want to start by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. We're going to be using the oven a couple of times and we're going to be using the hob once. We're going to be making a shortcut pastry to start with. So what we're going to do in a big bowl, we're going to put 200 grams of plain flour. Then we're going to be putting a little bit of salt. I'll be using my mixer halfway today, then I'll go in with my hands because my mixer doesn't like to make it all the way. I've only got the paddles and they're no good. They're no good for making pastry. Anyway, into this I'm going to be putting 100 grams of low-fat spread. The low-fat spread is quite soft in the fridge, so what I had to do, I weighed the 100 grams out and I put it in the freezer for half an hour and it's firmed up really nice because the best pastry is made from cold butter. So we'll stick this in. And what I'm going to do now is mix it into a breadcrumb. You'll see it when it happens. This mixer is quite loud, so I'll probably mute it, put some music on or fast forward it, whatever. But it takes a couple of minutes. Okay, we've got our breadcrumbs now. Right, breadcrumb consistency. As you can see, it's nice and soft, nice and gentle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start dripping some water in. And I'll mix it by hand. I'll just use my fingers. Pastry hates warm hands. Really hates warm hands. That's why I do it halfway with the mixer. But yeah, we'll just feed water in. You'd be surprised it only take 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. So we'll just drip feed it in. Give it a good stir. It'll start coming together nicely. But yeah, this one, it is a bit long-winded. But if you can get this one under your belt, you're laughing, you know. You're laughing. I just like to chill out. I put the radio on and that. Come in here. See what I've got. Like you'll see from some of my fillings, it's stuff that I could never use. I've had like 1 block of spinach left in the freezer, so that can go in, you know. I had a couple of mushrooms, that can go in. The only thing I've really bought for this was a pack of bacon. And really, I could have done without that. I could have used ham. I've got a ham in my freezer, so in my fridge. Sorry. You can use anything you want. This can be a bit messy, but just stick with it. It's fine. That's why I'm trying to keep one hand out and one hand in. Well, it'll just take a couple of minutes and it'll start coming together. You can see it coming together now. That's why I didn't go in with all the water to start with. And what we're going to have to do with this, when it's all together, is I'll put it in a food bag and I'll rest it in the fridge for half an hour. And it'll just firm it up and it'll just make it easier to roll out when we come to line with flan case. So that's perfect now. That's perfect. Never mind the bits on my fingers. I can easily wash my hands and that. So I'll put this into a food bag. I try and do these videos as I'm going along as I would cook them normally because I've watched a lot of videos and they're a little bit misleading because it makes it look like you could whip up a quiche in like 20 minutes start to finish, and it's not the case. It's not the case. Right, the pastry's in the fridge now. We'll move on to make them with custard. I call it a custard just because it's very, very similar. This can go and join the pastry in the fridge until we're ready to fill with tart. Okay, so we're going to go in with 2 eggs. Some salt. Like I say, the stages are really simple. All cooking's really simple, you know. They just make it look difficult. And it's not. I mean, don't get us wrong, I'm no chef. And I do make mistakes. I leave my mistakes in because I don't really mind. It's just a normal kitchen making normal food. Anyway, in here, I'm going to go in with 200 grams or 200 mils of skimmed milk. Get rid of these eggshells. And we're going to put in a small handful of the mixed herbs. It's just, that'll do. We'll just give this a stir. In a sense, you could fry this up. It would make a very, very soggy omelette. And this, we're going to put 100 grams of reduced fat, mature fat cheddar cheese. This is the 50% one that I normally have on my channel. We're just going to dump it in here. And it'll give it a little bit of a stir in. And this can go in the fridge now until we're ready to use it. My filling, I'm going to be using a pan which I'm going to warm up. I'm going to spray with a couple of sprays of fry light. What I'll be putting in mine is some onions. It's half a red onion that's been sliced, about 50 grams of sliced mushrooms, some garlic, some spinach, and some bacon. That was just one block of spinach. I defrosted it and I squeezed the life out of it because it's full of water. These are just 3 bits of bacon that I have left in the fridge. It's all basically leftovers. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the onions and the mushrooms in the pan, along with the garlic. We'll add a splash of water as normal, and we'll get the lid on. And we'll cook these on a medium heat. Mine's on number 3, so it's bang on the middle, for about 10 minutes. We'll keep stirring them and that, and we'll sort them out. Once they're cooked through and the onions are nice and soft, we'll turn them off and just let it cool down in its juices, and it's fine. So what I'll do now, while we're waiting for that, and while we're waiting for the pastry, is I'll have a good clean down. I'll prepare a workstation for a pastry, and we'll crack on. It's been half an hour. Our onions and our mushrooms are cooked. I've turned them off, they're cooled down nicely. We'll stick them to one side. And I've got my pastry out of the fridge. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my flour bag. I'm going to keep it handy. I'm just going to flour my board a little bit. I'm on my workstation. I've took away the chopping board because flour and that chopping board don't mix. You end up with a right mess on your hands. Anyway, that's our pastry, fresh out the fridge. What I'm going to do is just roll it out. I'm going to roll it out about ½ centimetre thick. Big enough for our cakes, our tray. This is the tray I'm going to be using. It's, I think, 24 centimetres, I think that's what they said. And what I'll probably do is an insurance policy, just give it a nice little fine spray of fry light. Doesn't need loads, and that'll just ensure that it doesn't stick. I mean, if it sticks, it sticks, but if it doesn't, great, we're in. Anyway, well, pastry, I don't know why people are put off making short-crust pastry. I know why people are put off making puff pastry. I'll never make puff pastry. It's a nightmare. I don't think I've got the right kit anyway to make puff pastry. It's quite hard. I will be making things with puff pastry on my channel, but I will be buying shop bought puff pastry. I don't mind. You could buy shop bought normal pastry if you wanted. I mean, there's no rules at your quiche. But to keep the price down, or to make it more authentic than that, make your own, you know what I mean? It's great. I love making my own. A little bit of a sense of achievement once it's done as well. But yeah, we'll get this out about half a centimetre. So we want it a bit wider that side and a bit wider that side, and it'll come right up the sides. So we need this side and that side. I think that's us. That's us. There's a little knack to this. If you take one end, fold it over your rolling pin and gently roll your rolling pin back. I might make a pig zero of this, but we'll try. As long as it doesn't nip together, you can pick it up. And you take your tray and you go back in reverse, and hopefully it's in the right place. Yeah, I'll live with that, I'll live with that. What you want to do is just lift it up gently and just feed it in. Feed it in, feed it in. If it feels a bit thin and you've got extra, just double it up and just push it in, just push it in. And we just do this all the way around. And you gotta be gentle, but you don't have to be like mega gentle, you know. It's not anything special, it's just pastry, it's just pastry. But yeah, we'll get this round like this. And this is the time consuming bit. But if I wasn't on camera, I'd have the radio blasting. And yeah, just get on with it. It's nice, it's nice. Right, once it's all in and you're happy with it, what you want to do is take your rolling pin and just roll it across the top, and it'll trim off all the raggy bits around the edge. And it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, and it might shrink in that in the oven. But hey, it looks good now, so we'll do it this way. And really, I've given the calories in that for 200 grams of pastry and of flour and that, but you could weigh that and deduct it from the calories, and you'd get a proper accurate one. So, but there's not that many calories in it, not compared to a shop one anyway. A shop one, they're not interested in the low fat butters and that. We'll just put whatever makes the best pastry in. If you've got thin spots like this, just put a little patch over with the pastry you've got left. And that's me being poor when I rolled it out. I should have been paying more attention. But it's fine, it's fine. Anyway, what we're going to do now is take a bit of parchment paper and give it a scrumple. And that'll make sure it'll sit in here nice and fine. You can try cutting it round in circles and that, but I think it's just a pain in the backside. But if you crumple it up, it just sits nice, Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing. Before we do this, you just need to take a fork and prick the bottom in a few places. And what that'll do, hopefully, it'll stop. When the pastry's cooking, it'll stop it pushing itself up. Because the air, when the water expands, the air will just push the pastry straight up, and yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the backside. Anyway, that's enough holes. Put this back in. Good job I remembered there, or I would look like a right fool. And we're going to put these bacon beans on. You can use pulses, you can use lentils, you can use rice. It doesn't matter. All we're going to do is weigh this down, and hopefully it won't lift off the bottom. It'll give us a perfect flan case. So we'll just move them round, nice and even in that. Nice and even. And what we're going to do, we're going to bake this now in our preheated oven. It's still at 180 for 10 minutes. Then what we'll do, we'll take it out of the oven, we'll take the beans away, we'll place it back in for another 10 minutes. We'll take it out, we'll put our filling in, we'll cook it, and jobs are good. So yeah, I'll see you in 10 minutes. Right, the first 10 minutes is up. We're going to take this out the oven now. It's very hot. And we're going to remove these beans. What I like to do is I just put them in a glass bowl because they're quite hot. I have put them straight back in the plastic container once, and yeah, I haven't got as many as I did have. So they can go in there, out the way. They can cool down in their own time. Pastry, it's looking good, it's looking good. It hasn't blown up or anything. So we'll stick this back in now for another 10 minutes. Then we'll get it out and we'll put the filling in. The second 10 minutes is up. We'll get the case out the oven and we'll have a look at it and we'll put the filling in. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. For the filling, we'll mix out the fridge. That's with eggs and with milk and with cheese. And what we're going to do is start spooning this lot in. This is with caramelised onions and mushrooms. They can go in, we'll just spread them out. Nice and even, or as even as you can get it. They're going to taste gnarly in there. Nice and caramelised. Lovely, lovely. We're going to take the bacon that we had before. We're just going to break it up, rip it up and put it in. You can chop it with a knife, you can rip it with your fingers. I'll just rip it with my fingers. Doesn't take 2 minutes really. But this is a good thing about making your own as well. You can put what you want in, how much you want. If you don't want meat, don't put meat in. If you don't want a lot of mushrooms, or you want 1 mushroom or 10 mushrooms, put exactly what you want in. Got this last piece of bacon in. This is going to be quite bacony. There's loads. It's all good. I like one that's got loads of filling. The shop ones, some of them, especially the cheaper ones, they don't have any filling in really. Like they're just a straight bit of meat and the odd mushroom or something, and it's just like egg. But with spinach, I'm only putting the spinach in because I have 1 block left, and it does look nice in here. Gives it a bit of colour. We'll just scatter some of this about. I might not use it all. It's enough to give it a bit of colour in that. Yeah, that'll do. Yep. And what we want to do now is fill it with custard mix. I'm just going to give it a little stir so the cheese has come off the bottom and that. We just want to fill it. We don't want to fill it all the way to the top. You'll see. I've made this one before, so I know this mix is about right. It's about right. I just want to spread it out. And you see, it's just sitting just underneath the top. All this cheese will melt, and oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. And this way you don't use cream. I've seen a lot of quiches with cream in and that in. And cream is like calorie overload, you know. Cream, normal butter, stuff like that. Anyway, let's stop banging on about the healthy eating. I'm going to put this back in the oven now. 45 minutes on 180. I'm going to turn the oven down, in fact. I'm going to turn it down to 160. So 160, 45 minutes. Then we'll see what we've got. We'll cut it open. We'll have a look. And yeah, another one's done. So I'll see you in 45. Right, 45 minutes. Let's get this thing out the oven and have a look at it. Oh, bloody hot. Check that out. Look at that beauty. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, check that out. Hey, you having that? Right. We're going to let it sit for a couple of minutes and it'll firm itself up. But we'll get it out of this case. We'll have a good look at it. And great. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, if you did, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell thing. You'll see us every week anyway. It's Sunday at 4 o'clock or so. But yeah, a tip to get your flans out is to get a cup. If you've got one of these bases that come off, and just drop it out like that. And it should, if we've got a perfect crust, just slide straight off. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. You can pick it up. The base is nice. See if I can turn it over. It's hot. It's hot. Base is perfect. Yeah, you can't fail with that pastry. Try that pastry mix for yourself and you'll like it. Right, I'll cut it up. We'll have a look at it. Yeah, we'll wrap this one up. So thanks for watching. Share it with people you like. Do all the YouTubey stuff for us and that. Try and promote my channel a bit more. Yeah, I'll see you on next week's video. Big kind to everyone. Have a great week. And let's have a look at this. I've got a blunt knife. Look at this. It's a little bit more cutting. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.